Alrighty, welcome back. And I don't remember for sure where I left last time, but we were working on our railroad. I think I did some surveying at the end of the last stream to see exactly what path we needed to take out here. And we can see several of my surveying towers, one down there even. But it's hard to see from here, but as near as I've been able to figure, so our tracks are down here. And I need to go out and see what kind of height I can get here. So there's a pillar there and a pillar there, and I need to go down between them, out through, I need to go right about through there, and there's some obstacle here, and then take a curve and go down a hill between those. So those two pillars are these here. That's what I need to go between. I need to go to that side of something here that, as far as I can tell, is hidden here in the trees. I'm not certain. And it might actually be, don't know if we can, so it might actually be, that's the thing I need to go around, and the pillars I need to go between are that and that, but I don't think so. I think this is what I need to go down between, which means whatever that other thing is something hidden here in the trees. But I don't know. That was one of the things I was trying to figure out in the survey, and it's really hard to tell what's what here on the map until you're actually standing on it or something. So we will figure things out when we get up there, I guess, and I'm just going to point the track in that general direction and hope we come up with something. And unfortunately, I have determined that I'm going to have to de-tree some of these things. So the first ones are going to be those. Oh sure, sometimes a shot will take out an acre of trees, and sometimes it won't take out anything. Lovely. And I need to go right where those two trees are. Well, maybe not quite that far, but see, why does it take out a tree clear over here? I don't understand. I would just take out the tree I'm pointed at. The range on this seems awful variable. Oh, it went right through the tree I want to get rid of. Lovely. Come on. Alright, we'll have to take it out when I get there. Alright, rail. Auto attach mode. See if I can remember how to do this even. And we're aiming in that general direction. That'll do. See if we can curve through what trees are left without too much issue here. See if I can get this and keep this relatively level. Yeah, that'll do. I am going down a hill here, so. Still can't see for sure what it is. seeing anything to identify what that one obstacle is. There's also, okay, so there's a sand circle. That was one landmark. I need to go basically right along the edge of that, ideally. So that sand circle is this. So if I stay along that edge of it, I'll miss whatever this is. And I need to go probably ideally between whatever this is. Over there would be good, but there's a bump here. So the ideal is to come along the edge of that and go between this is the plan. So I'm going to want to go basically across that group of trees. Which means I'm too far over to the side, so I want to kind of curve back. Actually, this is a tree I want to get rid of. I want to go halfway between those two. Yeah, that looks like it'll do. Something like that. Lock that in place, see what it looks like from the side. Looks good. A little bit of a curve in there, yeah, that looks good. And gonna need to clean out little trees to see where I'm going. See if this works any better. That works. Maybe right there, and we're still clear. So there you can see what's probably the near, right there is probably that thing that I couldn't identify before, is probably that. And again, I want to go halfway between those 2 points. I hate that. Need a little more freedom of rotation here. I don't want to go over there, and I don't want to go over there. Eeny, meeny, miny, moe. Let's see what that looks like. I don't think that's where I want to go. No. I don't particularly want to go that way either, I don't think, but we'll go with that. Now let's see where we are. Yeah, let's go down. Try to keep this somewhat level. The nearby one didn't do a whole lot of good, now did it? I think that's roughly where I want to go. Okay, it looks like this looks like we're going uphill significantly, so maybe I should have kept that this last one up. Yeah, and I have to redo this most recent one. I think I will. Alright, lock back onto this one, somewhere in there. See what that looks like here, straighten it out a bit, see what it looks like from the side, now that we need to remember or identify that we do need to go uphill, and get too away from my PowerPoint there. Yeah, we'll keep it like that this time. Quite a ways. I thought this was fairly level. And yeah, I'm a lot closer to those than I thought. Huh, okay. And there's what we need to go around. So right, we're going to be turning and going right down through there. And I still don't know what. There's the circle. Oh, it must be that right there is the thing I wasn't sure about. Yeah, we got that too far. So we got two little knolls of dirt right there and right there. Which, and that right between them is where I did want to go, so. Although now that I can see that, let's move. No, I don't want to turn, but I do want to move. A little bit over. And it don't. Yeah. I think we'll do that. Jones. Beat it, Jones. That works. Now let's see what it looks like back here. Yeah, that ain't bad. I was doing the curve back here to go around that, so sorry about that. Yeah, that'll do. So what we're building here, for those who haven't watched previous streams, is building my, we'll call it the main ring. So a main track that'll go around the entire world. We'll bring it back around here. It'll come out. Haven't figured out for sure what I'm doing across the Rock Desert, but I believe we will come. Let's see, come out of here. Probably come straight across that. Up across that. Across here somewhere or other, up here, through here somewhere, and I don't have this opened, but it's basically a straight line across here-ish, and then forget where the plan is, come across the river. Actually, I think my plan was the north side of the desert, across there, and come around down through here. And across, no, so I can come across here, or I can come across underneath the arches there and come down the side, and I can spur out to the oil fields out here. So that's probably what I'll do. May have a spur rail into this area. There's a bunch of ways I can do that, but main rail will come down the side there. Who knows where we'll come through the plains here. There's a nice road down there, but I don't know where it goes. And this is what I'll find out here on this stream is, if I remember right, surveying, this is an arch that I can come down through. Yeah, I remember that. It's been a week, but so I'm going to come down here, and then we will I think I'm coming down this, and this isn't much of a ridge if I remember. I could be wrong, because I remember I want to come. No, we're coming down here. No, I gotta have survey again. we're coming alongside this water. We're not going out around it. We're coming alongside this water. I think we're coming down here. But I might be coming down here. But I think we're up on the ledge. And then coming off here, coming down through here. And I believe I had decided that we're coming underneath this arch and along here instead of out there. And then we're coming down through here. And across the grassy plains somewhere or other. This is the gas rock. This is God knows what. There's nothing there. And that shape shows up several places on the map and there's never anything there, so that is a mystery. But we'll come across here somewhere, probably through here and up through... Oh, that's right. There is, if I remember right, a path up through there, but it's a really steep and a pain in the butt, and I think this might also be very steep. So I might leave this as a spur track out there and have the main rail come up here and down there and up along the thing. I think is probably what I'll do. And then leave this as a spur to come down to whatever needs to be done down here. But first things first, we're going to come down through here. So we need to come down there. Go right in there. Let's block that in place. See what it looks like from the side. That'll do. Yep, that looks okay. Nope. So this is where there's that water down there. And yeah, I'm going along this ridge here, which is going to be along here. So when I go back, you'll see there's a ridge here, and then a ridge here. So we'll call it the high ridge and the low ridge. And that's the high ridge right here, and then the low ridge right there. And we're going to go in between them here, along here. Hello viewer, good morning or afternoon or whatever time it is for you. Late morning for me. And let's see, how far can we go with this? Probably... Yeah, we'll step back a little bit here. Right in there. Let's see what it looks like from the side. And I just goofed that up. Try this again. And I'll put this somewhere right in there. Lock it in place. See what this looks like from the side. Yeah. steep here. Lock that in place and see what we look like. Not too bad. Now, I think we're going to put my jetpack on. So we're going to drop off this ridge, which means my next stand needs to be low. So we need to bring my next stand down low towards the end of this so we can drop off to the yikes. We're getting really steep here. I'm going to have to go. The problem with using the stands is that they have a flat spot, and that makes the rails go slant, flat, slant, flat, slant, flat, instead of a nice smooth curve. But I'm not willing to take the 2 hours to build a nice clean flat slope all the way. However, I might have to come down through here, because we need to go a nice clean slope from there where the last stand is, down across this, and down what appears to be a very steep slope here. Yeah. This is where I said we're going down into that hollow here. So, and I had decided to go into underneath this arch instead of out around the arch. We're going over there. Actually, we're not. We're going up, back up right over there. So that's, I think, why I wanted to go through here. But I think I'm going to have to build some custom track to come down this hill. Hello, buddy. Where's my track at? Should be up there above that. Okay. Want to go down there. Enjoy that if you've never seen that before. See if I can shoot it. Nope. Ow. Oh, that one doesn't want to die. Alright. I need to build a ramp. Ramp 2. Ooh, hello. Not curve mode. Normal mode, thank you very much. Where's the top of my ramp? This way. So I'll put it down. Maybe there. Oh. Okay, I think I put it in the wrong direction. No, that's in the right direction. But that is not going to come anywhere near going up on top of the and going down. Not nearly steep enough. I don't think I can put it. We'll have to try it, I guess. My understanding is I can't do rails on 4-meter ramp. Let's find out. Will it let me? Track is too steep, yeah. Didn't think so. Well, let's see what it has to say. So overall, apparently, this path is not too steep for rails. It doesn't have a problem with the angle laying them directly on the ground. What that means while we're at it, let's get rid of this. Okay, currently we're up there. Okay, electric power. And we need to make a new blueprint and make a different version of this rack. We need to build a rack that has a 2-meter angled track on it. And that's going to be fun to figure out too. But, first of all, special, figure out where blueprint is. And I think this is on mark 1, so let's find a nice place to put this that's close to my rail. And we're going to load blueprint. Utility pole. Where's the one I want? Power belts, constructors, smelters, manufacturers. Is that the one I want? Yes, I didn't mark it. That's the one I want. So first of all, we're going to save this with a different name and description here. So we don't accidentally overwrite the original. We're going to take our tracks off. And then let's, the real question, let's see, these are 2 meters if I remember right. Nope, those are 1 meter. Okay. So ideally I want to go one meter above and 1 meter below. Or actually, because we're 2 things wide, so we'll be 2 meters above, 2 meters below. Double check, those are 1 meter. So I want 2 meter ramp. Going from the center. Now see, that shows like it's 2 meters. Oh yeah, okay, so each of the little squares is 1 meter, so those are 2 meters. So we have, I want to go 2 meters below and 2 meters above this top point, which is the base for the rails. So we'll do that, and then that. And we'll do the same on the other side here. Then we're going to do rails. We're not going to go all the way to the edge, and the reason is so if we're up against a So if I end up putting this right up against a flat platform, the rail angles over a little bit, and this keeps it affects how the rails curve over the edge. I'm not going to take the time to demonstrate it, but it keeps the intervening curve, the curve between the slope and the flat. It keeps it nice and clean instead of clipping too much. So we're not bringing these rails out to the edges. Now this should look decent. Yeah. I was kind of hoping, I think I'm going to redo that to bring that down 1 meter, which will clip it a little bit more, make it a little more. Yeah, we're going to redo that. So we're going to come from here and go down 1 meter. There to there, there to there. That clips too much. Way too much. So maybe we go with up a 1/2 meter and see how that works. How does that look? Still clipping too much. So we go back to the original. I wish I could do, there is something I can do to make it look like there's more support here on the back. But all the beams that I could use are too big to they're unrealistically big. Let's see what this looks like. Well, it kind of comes this way, thank you. No. There we go. Let's see what that looks like. That works. We can work with that. Yeah. We can go with that. Alright, so... Ooh, I like new invisible operations panel here. save this. Yes, I know it's already in use. We're going to make that. Actually, we're going to do 4, 5, that. And we'll leave this here for later. Going to take and see how our new rail works. We want this to go as close to that edge as we can and turn, and we want it down. That do? Too far from power. You know what? Skip that. We're gonna do this one that way too. I wonder, can I won't switch to power line. See if I actually have power out here. No. Which is interesting. Not surprising, but interesting. The reason I tested that, I want my jetpack back here. Because you may have noticed that the lights are on some of these poles. Usually all of them are on. It varies. Sometimes they're on, sometimes they're not. There, you can see those up there, those are on. But while I have these poles wired for power, so each pole has a connector here, and the lights are connected to that connector, there's nothing else connected to that connector. The original intent was to run power along those lines. You can take power off the line at a station, but what if I want to do stuff not near a station? It was the idea. And of course to have lights on rails, but I started making stuff and discovered that these lights are just automatically on most of the time. And what I was just testing is whether I can actually pull power off of that, but it appears that there isn't actually power there, so I don't know why the lights are on. I'm assuming it's a bug. The only power is from the rails, so I gotta stay near the rails. Okay, let's try out the new prototype here. We'll start with it going downhill here. However far this needs to go. Somewhere like that. Now off to the side here. See how that angle is. Let's go down some. That looks good. I think we'll come up a little bit here, so we don't have quite as much angle from this one to the next one. Now this one, I guess we're going to have to go there. I want it to go out farther. Nope, can't go out that far. Come on. And I can't put that down any farther without burying my tubes. I think what I'm going to do is lift my jetpack over here. We're going to put this one right here at the edge, as low as I can put it. So it's pointing right down over the edge. Yeah. Perfect. Now I'm pretty sure the track is too far to go from there. No, okay. So can I go from the far one? Just barely, but perfect. How does that look? Not as good as I would like, but functional. So what we're gonna do, take those back out, take that out. Connect one side, find the other side over here. See if we can find a nice clean center spot here. We know both will reach. Oh crap, I know what's wrong. It's not going to work. There is not going to be a sweet spot. Because while the rail would reach, the pipes won't. Unless we get really close here, I guess, maybe. Well, that's not horrible. We can live with that. Now we take link that up. And go down here. But I need that on. And then we need to start over. Oh, that works so much nicer. I should have done that so long ago. I might have to go back and redo some of the other track. That looks so nice. Nice and clean. Not only the tubes did that. How much further down? Yeah. Well, I'm glad I brought that last one down a bit. I want to come back and bring this one down further. Put a marker so we can put it in the same place. So that's where it was to start with. Oh crap. Gotta link it up here first. Now we come back down here. So that's where it was originally. Let's bring it down a bit more. Yeah. Oh, we brought it down a whole thing. Now let's go with that. Keep the marker there, we can redo it. See what this one looks like now. Much better. And we need that one to go down. Quite a ways, in fact. And I think maybe the next one will be a normal one. Yeah. So now we're going to swing out here and then go up there. And so that's swinging down here and then going back up out there. So the question is, do I want a straight one, a flat one, or a down one again? I think we're going to go with a down one again. Yeah, down one was the correct decision. I could have put a flat one in here, but I think this was the right choice. Nope, I don't want level one this time. I think I want this one to be level. Ah, crap. Well, as long as we avoid, we sidestep the main ones. The little ones are okay. We can go over them. Missing materials, that's a new one. Build all these I can at once, so I don't have to keep building them. And no, they are not automated. I must have built a whole bunch of them a while back to stuck into depot. Either that or for some reason I had a bunch on hand. Interestingly, I don't need these for the train. This is for the electrical connector that needs these. Why do I have a bunch of copper ingots in my inventory? See, the lights are on, and there is no power to this, but what's in the track? I mean, I like that the lights are on without me having had to run the cable, but I don't, that's got to be a bug. It's got to be simply because they are, I don't want to mess with the blueprint, but I'll bet that's because it detects that they're connected to a wire to a connector without checking to see whether that connector is powered. Is that actually going into the ground or is that floating? No, it's in the ground. That looks better. Alright, let's try this one again. And we're clear of the main one. We're clear of the far one up there, so this is good. This looks like it's just a water one anyways, which I don't really care about. Yeah, that's just water. I could use the angled one again, but I don't need to. It's not that big of a hill. Yeah, this is fine. Oh, it did not build. Doggone it. Anyone else have to deal with that? Where suddenly their blueprints will stop building? Even though there's no complaints about anything? Why is my tracks not connecting? There we go. Suddenly it looks awful steep too. Is that as far as that will go? Okay, so we're going to go back and use the hill again this time then. That works very nicely. I wish I would have thought about doing that before. Crap. Tubes are clipping the rail. Suboptimal. Suboptimal. Get your act together, Satisfactory. That is not satisfactory. But you can't tell it to use noodle or curve or whatever mode. I'm assuming it's just using default mode. Curve mode would make it much better. But the rails is the important part. We want them to be as smooth as we can. And it looks like that is what it's doing. Now, do we want the hill here, or do we want to go back to level? I think I want to go back to level here. Oh, that's right, we're in the canyon. Okay, so we're still going up a little here. Down the middle of the canyon. Okay, so I know where we're at. Now, we were thinking earlier, I'm glad I looked, because we want to take off up this side canyon instead of coming down here. But at the same time, I want to allow for a spur coming out this way. So I want to make a pull fairly close here. Think see, that is there. And all things considered, I think we're going to make a blueprint intersection. I mean, nice clean place to throw a blueprinter. No such animal, so we'll just drop one here on the slope. Except for intersection, I'm going to need mark 2. Too uneven. Can I fly to the other side, or am I going to drop? You gotta be close. I think we're gonna do this way. There. Now I can fly all around it. Oh, I have to make a couple of that crap. We have to make a small blueprint or two here. Somewhere. And then move it out of that pole. But cutting things a bit on the close side. But I need to build something else here first. Alright, and then we're going to use that as our base up here. And then up here, we're going to do let's see, I need think, let's see, from here, okay, so we need come on. Okay, so I'm going to need, how do I want to do this? So what we're building here is a three-way intersection. have tracks going from there to there, there, oi. Nope, need one more out here on this side. Can't. Did I start at the wrong place? From there. Should be able to go. Ah. Missing a foundation. Should be able to go from there to there. We need to go from there to there. And from there there, and from there to here. That gives us a nice clean flat being the point. Three-way intersection. I should have left the foundations the way I had them in the first place, I think. And wait a minute. Because this is the only way they'll come out all the way to the end. I don't like having all this extra edge here. What I can do is, the other thing, I'd kind of like it to look a little more like those. But on the other hand, this whole thing is much more substantial. I just don't like having this much of that sticking out like that. So something's going to have to overlap, which is fine. It's just a matter of deciding where to have what overlap. We'll put another set. Here. Remove these two. Now we're going to double up underneath these rails. Like this. Remove this one and this one. Question becomes, do we remove this one? I'm going to say no. It'd be nice if there was a angled version, but only in the concrete. Of course, I could make all of that concrete, which would be an interesting thing, but then I don't have the metal bracing look to go with the... I like the metal bracing. So I think we're going to go with that. So we save this as we'll go with that for the moment. We can get rid of, clear that, remove that. We can clear that, remove that. And then come on. We can drop this. Something like that. We want that up some. May end up moving that, but for the moment, I'll put that there, and then I want to do, oh yeah, plenty high enough. So I actually probably want to put Actually, let's put this over here temporarily as a reference. And put that there as a reference. Take this out. So there's our original position. We want to go up to this kind of height. But we're coming up from down there. So let's go down a couple. Let's go down a couple more. We're going to go with that. Now, let's see if I can put a sloped one. That's too much of a slope. So we'll put a flat one. I need to make a 1 meter slope, I guess. Why are we not auto-linking? Why are we not auto-linking? There is rail. Why are we not auto-linking? I know you guys are farther apart than these guys. That's should not be an issue here. Why no linky? I know why not linking. Crap. And there's jack I can do about it. That's because there's 2 rails here. And without linking, I have no way to know if I'm close enough. Guess we'll just have to auto-link to this one down here and stretch it as far as we can. Oh, hello. Everything's connected, yes. Spot where we can make sure this is lined up. Right about there. Doesn't look too horrible. It's going to be a bit of a rise, but it's clean. And then we're going to need to do and we can't auto link, so we're just going to have to make a guess and put our stand in here at what seems to be an appropriate angle. And this one is going to have to sink down anyways. And let's hope that it's close enough. They are. Crap. I'm gonna have to come back and fix them. My sloped blueprint, I put the rails closer together. Which is actually where they should be. These are halfway between one foundation apart and two foundations apart. So these are 1.5 foundations apart. Those are the more typical one foundation apart. And on another world, I have similar poles that are 2 foundations apart. And the 2 foundations apart are a bit wide. And the 1 foundation apart is the only way you can fit intersections within a Mark II blueprinter. Not sure about a Mark III. I haven't played with a I don't think I've ever played with a Mark III blueprinter yet. So might be able to fit. There's no way I'm going to fit two wide rails intersections into even a Mark III blueprinter, but might be able to fit the 1.5 size. But only the 1 wide is going to fit in the Mark II. That's as tight as you're going to get them. So anyways, let us continue. Let's see, we're leaving that for later. And this is our current project. So this is what we've done today. We have come, so previously we got from there down to here, and today we have gone from there down to here. And I think, let's see, we're at 2 hours. We can do another hour. So let's work our way, see what we can, how far up across here we can do. Let's see, we are aiming to come down here. I think that's the plan. This area is all of the let's see, where am I at on this other map? Isn't this where all the wild, wacky trees are? No, that's over here. So the question is, where's the wild and wacky trees? That's that stuff up there, I think. So the question is, am I following the path? Or am I so the path goes right up across the end of the ledge, the ridge. So that would be this ridge here, and that is where we want to go. So at least that far, we're going to follow that path. Oh. Well, you know what? My back just said I don't want to sit here like this anymore. So I think we're going to stop this at 2 hours. And I think I may proceed with the rail offline because I suspect this is a bit boring on the watching side. Even if it is a little, it should be a little educational. So I think I will proceed with the rail offline and come back when I'm back to building factories. Hopefully by next week. But I think I will stop here for today. And we will catch you next time with hopefully some actual factory building. I guess that will be all for now. And thank you for watching. And we'll catch you next time.